But okay, all right, let's jump in. So this is the patch notes for update 20.1. The patch notes for update 20.1 are going to be applied effective October 11th for PC. So right now, today, when you're watching this video, I'm on the test server for PC. It's October 5th. So next week, it comes to live servers October 11th. Then on console for PlayStation and Xbox, y'all are going to be getting it October 19th. That's going to be going to live servers for console. So everything we covered today will be effective then. All right, number one. This was like in the PUBG Discord that I'm in, like with all the partners. This is the most controversial thing I think PUBG has ever done. And it sounds silly, but the Discord has been blowing up with people not happy about it. So first, we'll cover the map service rotation. Now, I'm on the test server right now, so if I queue up a match on the test server, I'm North America region, so I'm only going to be able to play Squad FPP, Erangel, Destin, and Karakin is making its way back in. Now, when it comes to live server, normal matches, Erangel, Destin, Tago, Sanok, Karakin. So no more Miramar, and that's going to be at least for a month. This update will last for at least a month. I honestly never would have thought they would have been ballsy enough to take out Miramar, but I'll say this. I don't think they're going to stay with this answer. I don't think they're going to keep Miramar out. With the amount of feedback / backlash that they're getting right now, I really don't think that they're going to keep Miramar out. I honestly don't think they should either. I don't think they should take Miramar out of the normal rotations. I'm a firm believer in like the 8x8 maps being the staple for PUBG, and we should have more 8x8 maps than non 8x8 maps. However, having said that, I'm always going to be looking at it glass half full because that's the kind of person I am. If they are hell-bent on taking Miramar out, it can only mean one of two things. Either A, they're just ballsy enough to remove one of the most staple maps in PUBG and just say, F it, we'll see what happens. Or B, what I think is more likely, they have some planned changes for Miramar, and so they're taking it out of the normal match rotation, to allow it some time to cool off, some people to kind of remember the good times of Miramar while they make some additions and changes to it. Because if you remember, they did that once before in season was it season 10 or 12 or something? It's been a while. But they did a big Miramar remaster 2.0, and it was very well received. So they very well could be doing that again. That would not surprise me if that's what they did here. All right, moving on to gunplay changes. Now, there are quite a few to go over. I'm going to discuss the changes here. We're going to go and test them in a minute in the test server. But this is, of course, going to require a pretty in-depth video, because if you don't know, I have already made an ultimate PUBG attachment guide on YouTube, and I went over all the attachments from best to worst, how to use each one, what weapons they're made for, and now PUBG is throwing a wrench into that. They're making a number of changes here. So hey guys, quick interruption here for the recording. I realized yesterday during the live stream when I was explaining the attachment breakdown that I wasn't being entirely accurate with which attachments have been buffed and nerfed. So I wanted to re-explain those here and just make sure I was crystal clear about them. Now, keep in mind, I am going to be doing another full video where I actually show all the attachments compared to their older counterparts and to see how they stack up against the meta, like the vertical grip, etc. So we'll start off with the thumb grip up top. Now, the thumb grip is seeing a buff. Its vertical recoil control went from a +5 to a +8%. The ADS speed, which is how fast you can aim down to your sights, went from a +30 to a +40%. So this is a very, very, very fast aiming grip and a very good buff. Its sway control stayed the same. It still is a +20, which means your sway control while breathing is when you're aiming down sight, but not holding your breath and not firing your weapon. I know it's kind of confusing, but bear with me here. So when you're aiming down sight and you're scoped in, like say with a 6X, and you're trying to line up a shot, if you don't hold your breath and you don't shoot, the sway control breathing is the stat they're talking about there. So it basically means how much does your weapon kind of jiggle about on its own if you don't touch your mouse while you're ADSing, okay? So that's a +20. The angled foregrip got a good bit of love here too. Now, its sway control while firing actually went down. So it did have a plus 5% sway control. Now it went to a 0%. So it lost its plus 5% sway control. Now, what this means is when you're, it says firing here in parentheses. So when you're actually aimed down sight, shooting your weapon, how much does the weapon want to naturally deviate side to side or up and down? This has been reduced for this grip, which means you'll have a little bit more movement in the grip while firing. To combat that, however, it got an additional buff to its horizontal recoil control. So it went from a plus 15 to a plus 20. ADS speed is unchanged at plus 10%. So this is still faster than no grip in terms of aiming down sight. And then its sway control while breathing got a buff from minus 20% to minus 10%. And this is when they introduce the minus signs and get kind of confusing. So think of it as a line graph. 0 is the baseline. Anything with a plus number is better than the baseline. Anything with a minus number is worse than the baseline. So 0 being no grip. If it says 0%, it's going to act as if it didn't have a grip on it at all, okay? So sway control while breathing, that means if you're aiming down sight, just trying to line up your shot, not holding your breath, this has gotten a buff for that. So it's going to move less, but it will move more while firing. Does that make sense? Probably not until you use it. I know even PUBG made a comment down here about all their terms being super weird. Then we move to the half grip. The half grip is unchanged for its vertical and horizontal recoil. It still gets a plus 8 in both departments there. It does get a buff to its sway control while breathing, minus 20 up to a minus 10. Its recoil recovery is unchanged at plus 10%. And its sway control while firing got a buff from a minus 15 to minus 5%. So these are good changes for the half grip, which is already a really good all-arounder. The vertical grip is the only one that actually got a nerf out of all the grips. So its vertical recoil control is unchanged at plus 15%. However, its sway control while firing was plus 15. Now it's 0%. So it got a reduction of 15% in its sway control while firing. That's going to be very noticeable in terms of a longer distance sprays. So even with a red dot, a 3x or a 6x, the longer away you are from your target and you really have to dial in that sway left to right, this is really going to hurt this grip here. And then lastly, the lightweight grip has unchanged for pretty much everything except recoil recovery after shot. So sway control while firing is the same. Initial shot recoil control is still the same, 40%. Sway control while breathing is the same at 20%. And recoil recovery after shot is plus 20%. This is going to be really, really good for this grip, which was already a fantastic tap firing grip for like your DMRs, because of the recoil recovery after shot is how quickly that weapon is going to come back to a resting point after you shoot your first shot. So that's really, really good. Plus 20% there. So I'll round up all in all. I'll say this, that the sway control while breathing, a lot of those numbers have changed. It's not really an important number though, because again, sway control while breathing is just while you're lining up your shot, not holding your breath. While firing is when you're actually holding your trigger to fire. And of course, if you hold breath, then your sway control, you know, it's zero. There's no movement. The crosshair stays perfectly still. So I hope that helps break it down a little bit more clearly. I'll let the rest of the video continue on as we go through the rest of the patch notes. And if you're interested, stick around to the end of the video. I'm going to throw in there some of my first look at these attachments and grips and the different scopes on like the shotgun and the Mutant and the M16 for those who want to see that. Okay, so sorry again for that interruption and enjoy the rest of the video. In addition to attachments, they made some firing from vehicle changes. Now these are interesting. It's not It's not exactly what I wanted to see, but it's a step in the right direction. So I'm not going to read this whole synopsis. Basically, they just say that drive-bys have been overpowered for a while now. Being on foot is a huge disadvantage, which of course it is. I always tell people, you know, who are trying to learn the game, if you see a vehicle driving towards you or near you, literally do not shoot at it. And if you see it driving at you as if that player is attempting to drive by you, stay behind cover the entire time. Don't peek at all, or go prone and try to return spray fire the best you can. That way you're a small target and you have better accuracy to shoot them, because driving in a vehicle is stupid powerful. You're protected. Almost all your body's protected. You can shoot pistols while driving, and you can seat swap and spray very, very quickly and very easily and accurately. Now, having said that, the nerfs that they are making to drive-bys are going to be the following. Reloading handguns will be instantly canceled if the driver controls the vehicle's steering wheel. So if you're driving, you have the P18, like the automatic pistol, and you spray the pistol, and you want to swoop back around for another spray attempt, you can't turn the wheel and start to reload. You have to reload the pistol, drive in a straight line. So even if you touch the A or D key one time to go left or right, it cancels the reload. That is a really good nerf. It's an indirect nerf to pistol drive-bys. The problem with that, I should finish the comment. Handgun reload duration in vehicle has increased by approximately 50%. So it's going to take you 50% longer to reload your handgun while you're driving. Handgun recoil has also been increased by 20%. This is only on PC. The recoil increase is only on PC. So console, don't worry about the more recoil. So reloads take 50% longer, and you cannot reload it while you're changing directions. So as soon as you A or D, go left or right, it cancels the reload. That's a big nerf, specifically to guns like the revolver, which is the most powerful pistol and the most accurate pistol for drive-bys. That's a big nerf to that weapon. The recoil is not going to affect the pistol. That's whatever. But the reload duration and not being able to reload while turning is a big nerf. And I think it's a good thing. What's interesting to me is that they didn't adjust the stability while shooting from your vehicle while driving. Because one of the best known secrets of PUBG driving mechanics is if you have a pistol and you just hold the pistol out while you're driving, your vision is stabilized significantly versus you having two hands in the wheel and driving normal. It's a weird thing. I don't know why they do it, but if you literally just hold a pistol in your hand, even if you're not planning on using the pistol, you just hold it in your hand while you're driving, it's way more stable. And they didn't adjust that. Now, in addition to drive-bys for pistols, they've also added a nerf to weapon recoil in passenger seats. So they increased it by 10% for PC only. So previously, if you seat swap to your passenger seat and you get your AR and you spray, you had a 10% recoil penalty. Now it's a 20% recoil penalty. So we'll see how that actually adds up and plays in game when we run some tests. But 10% is a pretty good bit, and that might be enough to help save you from getting swept on as everybody drives by you. What this doesn't adjust for, or account for I should say, is again the stability while aiming in a vehicle. And if you use a DMR or you use a sniper rifle, this is going to be unchanged. You're still going to be able to basically line up a perfectly smooth shot, boom, and get your bolt shot off, or a perfectly smooth DMR shot, boom, let your recoil come down, boom. Like this is not really going to help DMR and sniper drive-bys, which is unfortunate. As much as I love doing them, I love getting a drive-by headshot with a bolty. It's one of the coolest things in the game. I don't think it should be that easy. It shouldn't be that smooth when you're sitting on the window with your 8X on your sniper rifle. It should be a little more bumpy, That's all I'm going to say. One of the longest standing requests has been the 4X scope reticle. It now has 3 different reticle types to be selected through using the page up or page down buttons for PC For console, to switch, what is the button for console? Oh, and settings for console. You have to go into the settings for console. But you know, you used to, like, you pick up an AK and you put a 4X on it, or a mutant with a 4X, you'd get that ugly ass scope. Now you can actually change and go to your specific preferred style of scope with any of your 4X, any of your weapons with a 4X attached to it. So that is a really cool change. In addition, 8Xs have been added and equipable to M16s and mutants, along with 15X. So 8X and higher. So 15X can also be added to mutant and M16s like the good old days. Ranked Season 20. I don't ever play ranked, so I really don't care about it because it's not available in NA. But for those of you that do play ranked, here's your rewards, some emblems, parachute skin for gold, platinum, diamond, master, parachute skin, animated emblem. All right, PGC 2022. Oh, here we go. We actually have a date, November 11th to November 20th. So for the skin reveal video that we did earlier today, this morning, this confirms that we'll be getting those PGC skins November 1st. So that's a little less than a month away. We'll be getting those new skins. It's ironic that it's going to be Erangel, Tego, and Miramar, even though Miramar is out. But actually, as I say that, that means Miramar is coming back in November. So it's only going to be out for a month. I guarantee Miramar comes back in November if they do take it out. Destin is receiving a blue zone change. Phase 1 of Destin is being increased by 30%. The start delay is also being increased by 30 seconds. That means it's going to take 30 more seconds for it to start to close. So it's going to be a bigger phase 1 safe zone, and it's going to take longer for it to close. I don't know about y'all, that's not a good thing. Phase 2, the radius is increased by 15%. And the damage magnifier per distance is increased by 6%. Oh no. So what this means in plain English is Destin games are going to be a little slower for a longer period of time because the safe zone is even bigger now for phase 1 and phase 2. But when phase 2 does start to close, you will take additional damage in the blue zone for phase 2. That could be significant if you're caught out with no vehicle, but what a lot of people don't know about the blue zone is this little asterisk here, the damage magnifier per distance. So how can I explain this? Let's say this circle right here is the safe zone for phase 2, and my mouse is your character, okay? So here's the safe zone, this middle circle, and my mouse is your character. The damage you receive from the blue zone increases the further away you are from the safe zone. So if you're right on the edge of the zone at phase 2, it's going to do X amount of damage. But if you're running in from over here, you're getting much more damage dealt to your body. Even though it's still phase 2, it's the same phase. The further you are away from the safe zone, the more damage you take. And that's true for all of the phases, not just phase 2, but they only increased it for phase 2. Okay, this is one of my most requested things personally when Destin came out. And this was shot down by Dave Curd, the creative director of PUBG, when we did the Reddit AMA, and I asked him this question. He said it was too OP. But now they see the stats, which is good. They're looking, and they saw clearly nobody was using the 012 shotgun because you could not put a proper scope on it, and now you can. So now the slug shotgun, the only shotgun that's supposed to be deadly at long range, can now actually be used long range. You can use a 2x up to a 6x on the 012. I can't wait to test that out. That's going to be fun. That's going to be a really cool addition to that gun. The jammer pack is going to take more damage. This is pretty significant. Is this Destin only? The blue zone damage the jammer pack receives is increased by 27%. I don't think this is Destin only. I think that's across the board change. The jammer pack can only be found as a world spawn item in Miramar, Karakin, Haven, and Destin. So no Erangel and no Sandhawk which is really funny and ironic because Sandhawk, if you remember, was the first map to introduce the Blue Zone Jammer backpack. That was part of the lore for Sandhawk, was the Sandhawk 4 escaped from the underground bunker with Blue Zone Jammer backpacks. That's how they got out of the battlegrounds and like escaped the battlegrounds, is because they have the Jammer backpack. So the fact that it's not even going to spawn on that map anymore is kind of funny, but I honestly think that's a good thing. I'm not a big fan of the Blue Zone Jammer pack. I don't think it's an awesome item that allows people to camp out in the zone or not to be punished from the zone. But this is a good change. Your Jammer backpack is not going to last as long as it did before. It'll last 3/4 as long as it did before. That's a pretty big change. Any weather fans in chat? Because now Erangel has sunset weather mode. One of the most beautiful weather modes in PUBG is now being added to Erangel. I know it might seem like a small thing. I promise you, when you play this, you're gonna be like, wow, this fucking shit is beautiful. I love this change and can't wait to play it. Customized wardrobe. This is for the preset coupons. They've added more not more slots, but easier to access slots. You still have to pay to get the coupons or get the coupons in your survivor pass, which nobody does. They need to make these free and unlock them for everybody, please and thank you. Okay, here's a big quality of life change. This is an actual big change. I'm not being facetious. The carry feature, picking up your downed teammate or a downed enemy, can now be changed from the default F key to H key. On PC, on Xbox, it's LB and X. On PlayStation, it's L1 and square or box, whatever you call it. This is big because now, instead of running up to your teammate in a very, like you're kind of frantic, you're running to your teammate and you're trying to pick him up real quick and you have to spam the F button and the game doesn't know if you want to revive him, if you want to pick him up, what the hell you want to do. You actually have a whole separate keybind for doing that now. That's really, really good. And I think you can actually, it says you can also choose to customize your keys in settings. So you can change it from H to whatever else you want to change it to. That's a really good quality of life change. I wish they would make that same change for entering and exiting a vehicle. I wish that it wasn't tap F to exit a vehicle, because I can't tell you how many times my dumbass has ejecto seated myself out of my moving vehicle and died. I would love to see that also as a quality of life change. Next thing, screen ping markers. Screen ping markers are going to be more transparent the closer a player / weapon crosshair is to them. Oh, a weapon crosshair. Oh. The marker will automatically be removed after 30 seconds. Screen pings that were only available in normal matches are now available in ranked matches as well. Hello? I thought they did. So this might not be a big deal for most of us, because if you're like me, you don't play ranked. But I remember this was a big no-no in ranked. They did not want this marker ping system in ranked, and they took it out, and now they're adding it back. However, they are applying a good quality of life / nerf to the ping marker. So now, as you can see, the more you move your crosshair to the ping, it goes transparent. And why that's important is because right now when you play the game, if you ping a window for your buddy and your buddy zooms in on the window, you may not be able to see the enemy peek the window because the ping marker is so goddamn bright and in your face. So I don't think this fixes the issue, but I think it's a move in the right direction, and it will automatically be removed after 30 seconds. So we'll see how that plays out. The next little thing is just a radio message wheel addition. So this is really going to be for people who play with no microphones, or they play with random squads and they don't want to talk to them. Instead of having to tell your buddies, hey, I need an energy drink, I need a heal, whatever, you can literally ping in your inventory screen, I have an energy drink, I found a drink here, I have a scope for you, I need a scope. so you can ping all of that inside of the inventory. I think that's a pretty cool quality of life change. When I play like squads, I usually have comm zones, so no big deal for me, but I know a lot of people don't. The starting plane UI will now tell you the actual number of players remaining in the plane, instead of you know, on the bottom left it should like the little dots, the squares of how many people are in the plane. Instead of having a guesstimate, it'll tell you how many people are in it. Why that's useful is because if you're looking to plan your jump for a not so hot area, knowing how many people are still in the plane can help you gauge if the next big city is going to be heavily contested before you jump. So there's just a little quality of life there. Instant volume sound reducer is being changed. You can now adjust the volume of instant volume reducer feature. Interesting. We all know PUBG has very bad issues with sound. You know, things like footsteps and little gun chinkles can be really low volume, and then bullets, explosions, car volume, plane volume, insanely high. So interesting to see how this affects that. Console has added an option to voice chat volume. Okay. Graphic and resolution frame rate will appear in settings for all console devices. However, devices, monitors that do not support 4K will have those options disabled. Okay. Anti-aliasing will only be available on Series X and PlayStation 5. That is a must-have setting, in my opinion. So if you have those consoles, enable it. Ooh, this is a big one. A big quality of life. Team Deathmatch Arcade Mode auto saves your spawn kit settings with the attachments to your weapon. That's big. You know how many times when I'm playing arcade mode, you have to like die, respawn, and quickly tab and swap your scopes and attachments and shit before you run 6 feet and fight another player? You can actually just spawn and have that saved. That's really good now. That's really, really good. See, they have new items into the workshop, special delivery, victory dance, and the Bunny Express clothing. Oh, and the scooter skin is in the workshop. I will definitely cop and equip that if I unlock it. The Hideout has an auto lock feature for any progressive skin that is at least level 2. It automatically will lock that skin, so you cannot accidentally sell it. Not that you're going to get the skin anyway, because you'll get 1,000 gold AKs, but that's neither here nor there. Some UI stuff, I could care less. Some performance stuff, let's see what we got. Memory usage, okay. Improve loading times, improve inconsistent frame drops, okay, it's good. To Unreal Engine to save additional memory on Xbox platforms and Windows 64 platforms. This will help improve out of memory crashes on Xbox. Okay, that's cool. All right, so that is that's it for the patch notes review of update 20.1. We are now going to take a quick gander into the test server and actually test some of the stuff like the attachments, the 6X and the O12, all that kind of stuff, the 8X and the Mutant. We'll take a little gander at that, and then we'll actually play some PUBG for reals. So let's go ahead and do that. Well, look at that. Is that a sight to behold or what? A Mutant with an 8X? Yeah, it's pretty cool, actually. M16 with an 8X? I mean, come on. FPP, there we go. And then you can go to your canted sight. How bad is it? It's actually not that bad at all. Spray tap firing? Oh, I don't know about that one though. that's a tough sell there. 15X? Sheesh. Freaking send that bullet flying. Yeet. Yeet. Yeah, that's a big ass scope, dude. Oh, I ain't gonna lie. I think this is a really cool change. Obviously, you know, the M16 isn't gonna be as good as a, you know, a Mini 14 or a Mark 12. Try the new 4X. Don't tell me how to live my life. Let's try the new 4X, guys. I just had an idea. Let me try the new 4X. Here's the 4X on the Mutante. And we're supposed to be able to cycle it up with page up, page down keybinds. Let's take a peek. Increase. Oh, next reticle type. Mine's T and Y. I've changed it to T and Y. Okay. Ah, there we go. Ooh, yeah. Oh, gross. Yo, who likes this one? Who's a fan of this one? Oh, wow. The ping does get really see-through. Like if you're right there, you put a ping there. You see how yellow it is? And then when I get closer to it, that's good. All right, do it slower. That's what she said. Here's your different 4x sights. So I have a Mutante right now, which historically I would never use a 4x for. But now you can have this one, you can have this one, and you can have this one. I honestly hate this one. It's really one of the better ones because it has all the distance numbers, like 300 meters, 500 meters, 700. So it's like it's better to, you know, dial in your long range shots with. I just think it's ugly. I kind of like this one the most, then this one second, and this one last. Something about crosshairs that go across your entire scope just look good to me. Like this just, I feel like I don't know. Dude, that like, it's honestly a pretty big game changer. Because you used to have to do this guy, right? Like this would be your spray. But now, I don't know, man. The 4x is nice now. 4x is nice now. This angle grip might not be a bad choice nowadays. I'm gonna compare it with the other ones just like side by side real quick. Go angled, untouchable. I'm on burst mode. I'm an idiot. Angled. Vert. And then we'll do thumb. And then half. First and second bullets the same. I mean, the half grip and the angled are very, honestly, like, I don't know. I think the half grip is still going to be better, y'all. I don't know. Like, just let me do just the half and the angled, because obviously the vert grip has better vertical recoil, like you would assume, but it definitely sways a lot more. And I'm point blank shooting. The further you are away, the more pronounced the sway in your sprays become, you know? You got a vert grip from back here versus the angled. Like, look at that. That's like not up and down, but like damn near up and down on the angled versus the vert is, you know, kind of always back and forth. And if you have a big scope and you're spraying from far back, you know, like back here, that's going to be a lot more noticeable. That's pretty big, but you do have to pull down a considerable amount more. We're in person. Yeah, I definitely don't think it's hard to hit people while doing a drive-by still. Yeah, you can still light them up, but not being able to reload while touching the wheel, like it canceling your reload. Do you reload? You're almost done. You touch the wheel. Oh, I caught it, but you almost can stop your reload mid-reload too. That's a pretty big nerf, man. I think that's a good thing. I mean, it's definitely noticeable. It is like definitely noticeable. But you know, not noticeable enough to where like I wouldn't attempt it, you know. Probably lightweight, but thumb because of the ADS speed. Like look at how long it takes to zoom into this guy. But this, boom, boom. So you can now use a freaking big ass shotgun with a 6x. And this is what it should be, honestly. So you can actually use the 012 close range. And you can use it long range. Maybe. Oh, wow. It's actually no bullet drop in that thing, huh? Damn. And that's the thumb grip. So I am 100 meters if I get right over here. 100 meters. Here. Nearest makes no difference, 100 meters. 6x. Headshot. I mean, like, it almost immediately hits him, too. There's, like, no bullet drop. Dude, that's been pretty good. That's been pretty good.